So what does it mean to be on your grizzly? It means hard work, dedication, and it means progress beyond your grizzly. Hard work, dedication, and progress.
I'm on my grizzly, y'all. I'm on my grizzly. I'm on my grizzly, y'all. I'm on my grizzly. I'm on my grizzly, y'all. I'm on my grizzly. And if you're busy making moves, say it with me. I'm on my grizzly, y'all. I'm on my grizzly. I'm on my grizzly, y'all. I'm on my grizzly. I'm on my grizzly, y'all. I'm on my grizzly. And if you're busy making moves, say it with me.
Coming to you from the City of Angels, this is the Grizzly Podcast with Irvin Scott and Melissa Santos.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Grizzly Podcast. I am your host, Irvin Scott.
And my name is Melissa Santos. What's up, y'all?
We have actress / acting coach / public speaker. She is the sister of Demi Lovato. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest today, Dallas Lovato.
Yeah.
How are you guys? I'm so excited to be doing this.
We're so excited to have you on board. You know, this is the Grizzly Podcast, and you know, this show here basically represents people such as yourself, people that are constantly grinding, people that are constantly on their hustle. You're somebody that embodies what we do here. So we're so happy to have you on board. How are things with you?
I'm good. Oh my gosh. I just actually got a trailer today. I did not even know that this documentary that I did with my sister was coming out so soon. They said that it was going to be in October. And then I got a call from Peacock today and I saw a first preview at the trailer. And oh my gosh, guys, it is so crazy.
This is an interesting thing because, you know, this is a new series. It's coming out on Peacock, September 30th. This is Unidentified with Demi Lovato, and this is a UFO docuseries.
How does this even become a thing? Whose was we're doing this?
I have a lot of experiences with the paranormal. My house in Texas that my sisters and I grew up in is extremely haunted. I mean, even our neighbors will see ghosts in my window from across the street. I guess growing up with it, that was something that just was the norm. You know, you just saw ghosts and helped them cross over. And my mom's best friend is, her name's Lorna, and she's a psychic medium. And so I grew up doing paranormal investigations. We would go to all kinds of places. We went to the Cecil Hotel. We went to the Hollywood Cemetery. We went to Camarillo State Mental Hospital, and that was crazy. But so growing up, the paranormal was normal to me. And so my sister, Demi, they were I have all these experiences with extraterrestrials. And because I have experience with the paranormal, I kind of was on board with that, even though I didn't have any experiences. So when they came to me and they were so I'm doing this show, and it's about UFOs and aliens and extraterrestrials and all of that, I just jumped on board. I was absolutely, this is my jam. Let's go. I'm always the first one that's oh, that there's might be a demon there. Cool. Let me beeline for it.
Being that you're working on the series and all that,
yeah,
you had conversations with spirits.
Oh yeah. Well, on this journey, this show is mostly about extraterrestrials, but all I'm going to say is going into this, I had a very open mind, but also skeptical because it's something I'd never personally experienced. But after this journey, I can totally say I am not even the same person that I was before doing this. I thought I had a really open mind. I thought I knew a lot about reality and our existence and things like that. But it turns out I had no idea. It was a lot. It's weird because going into it, I was in a really, really dark place. I was really depressed. I was coming out of a breakup. I had undiagnosed ADHD, OCD, dyslexia, and dyscalculia. And dyscalculia is the same thing as dyslexia, but with numbers. And I didn't know this. So I was living with this for many, many years, untreated, well, I got diagnosed, but I never took medicine for it. I was whatever. And so right before doing this show, right before I got the call, I was like at my worst. I was like straight up COVID body. Like I'm in sweatpants every day. I don't even remember what makeup looks like. Like I was just not in a place to be going on camera at all. And when I got the call, just something told me that like, I need to do this. Like I need to be there. I need to experience these things. And thank God I did, because my whole world flipped upside down after that experience. And a lot of it was caught on camera, but also a lot of it was just like the journey, the self-discovery journey that I was already embarking on. And I was starting to grow and I was starting to change. I was starting to get help for myself. I was starting to finally admit that, like, listen, you can't do it all. You know, my sister, you know, Demi, they have a team. Like they have like teams of people to help get them from point A to point B. I don't have that. It's just me. So like after years of just kind of going back and forth with all that, I decided to, you know, get myself some help, and it was the best decision I ever made. And that show literally was like pivotal for like my life and the things that I experienced. So couldn't have come at a more perfect time.
Where did you guys shoot the series?
Mostly Arizona, but then we shot a little bit in LA.
Specifically, Arizona was like a point of interest for you guys.
Yeah, like you'll see in the show a little bit more, because I don't want to talk too much about that. But I will say that deserts, any kind of like open field deserts, seem to be hotspots for extraterrestrials and UFO sightings. I mean, I kind of know why now, but like not really. I don't know why, but yeah, deserts seem to be a hotspot.
Okay. That makes sense. I mean, a lot of times when you see things like anybody catching anything on camera, or like it's always like seems to be like in an open kind of like, you know, in the desert, right? Like I don't know.
Yeah, and like you're out there's nothing else to look at, so you're gonna look at the sky. And you know, I think the biggest thing that people could do if like they want to like see extraterrestrials or like have a UFO sighting is to continuously look up. Like just look up. I've seen so many UFOs literally right above my house because I spend time outside meditating and just looking up at the sky. And it's people that take that opportunity to just look up, like chances are you might see something.
I actually experienced something back when I was a kid. I want to say I was like either 9 or 10 years old. And I remember seeing like 5 bright red aircrafts. They were in the sky. It was evening time. And all I remember was that there was 5 aircrafts. They were forming like a circle. There was like a big flash in the sky. I wish we had like camera phones. I would have been able to send it to like Unsolved Mysteries or something, right?
Yeah. Hollywood has portrayed such a like negative image of extraterrestrials and like life on other planets. And like, I feel like Hollywood has been very instrumental, and along with the government, but I feel like those two things put a very negative spin on like extraterrestrials and UFOs. It goes against everything that I believe in as a person, because to me, I would much rather like just take things at face value, even though it's something that we may not understand. We don't understand extraterrestrials, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. And I think that it's really sad how the media has portrayed so many things that we may not understand, or they make it wrong or whatever, when really you could experience, you know, like when I witnessed my first UFO, I wasn't sure what it was, but we were at the Hollywood Cemetery, and all of a sudden we were walking out. I was with Demi and a couple people. We were walking out and we look up at the sky, and there was like this orange light that was just like going big and small and this and that. And of course I had like an iPhone 3 at the time. So you try to take a picture, it's not working. Like, oh, what's that little speck? You know?
Yeah.
The feeling that I got was so beautiful and so positive that there is no way that you can tell me what I witnessed was not one of the most extraordinary things ever. And I think that if there is life on other planets, we could learn a lot from them, you know? Like I hope that people come around to like opening their minds and accepting a little bit more and just, I don't know, just questioning and looking up, you know?
And for anybody that's actually interested in the show, what else can they tune in for?
There's definitely just like a lot of information because we talked to so many experts, and every time that we would, you know, get done filming, I just wanted to sit and talk to the experts even more because I mean, the knowledge that they have, the eyewitness experiences and things like that are just like, I mean, just to be in the presence with those kinds of people, you just want to stay and you want to pick their brains. So it was very informational, very crazy, but also fun too.
For anybody listening or watching this right now, that series, Unidentified with Demi Lovato, it's a UFO docuseries. It'll be streaming on Peacock September 30th. Make sure you guys catch that. I know your mom, she was a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader back in the day, so she was involved in the industry in some sort of way. But how did acting come about for you?
The first memories of my life were on my mom's tour bus. She was a country singer, and she opened up for like George Strait and Reba McEntire. And my dad was, Demi and I's dad, was my mom's music manager. And so they were on tour. And so literally from when I was like born on the road, basically, we would just like travel around and I would like watch my mom perform. And it was crazy. We toured like Canada, all over the United States. And so like my first memories are literally on a tour bus. And so growing up, I always loved singing, but sometime around my parents' divorce, I don't know if it was because of the divorce, but I stopped singing in front of people. I just completely, I would not sing for anyone. Like if my mom heard me sing, I would get so embarrassed and I would just like clam up. So I don't really know if it was a divorce or maybe I got to an age where I was like, I know what good singing and bad singing is, and my mom's amazing. So maybe I don't want her to hear me because I suck at 4. I don't know. But yeah, so I stopped singing. And then a couple years later, we decided to, Demi and I decided to do this pageant system called Cinderella. And it was one of like the longest running, most well-respected pageant systems around because it wasn't necessarily like a high glitz beauty pageant where you have like, you know, all the fake hair and eyelashes, which don't get me wrong, love those too. But the system that we did was more about like interview, talent, poise, grace. A lot of the girls from that system fed into the Miss America system where it's about, you know, interview and you have to be very well-rounded, but you could also just get a dress off the rack at Dillard's, you know? So that's why we liked it because we didn't have a lot of money and we also liked feeling beautiful. So that was a good blend for us. But unfortunately, that system required a talent. And at the time I had done cheerleading and dance and all that stuff. And I was like, I guess I'm just going to sing because why not? And I was so nervous. The first pageant like that I did, I had the lyrics to some Judy Garland song. I think it was like Zing With the Strings of My Heart or whatever. And I wrote the lyrics in Sharpie on the palm of my hand. But by the time I got up on stage, I was so nervous. I like sweated it off. So I had like black blobs on my hand. No. I know. It was so bad. It was so embarrassing. But I pulled it out and Demi and I went on to compete at state where we both won our divisions. And that was only like the second time in like 30 years of Cinderella history where sisters have won. And then we went to internationals. We placed really high. Around that time is when Demi started to do the Barney show and things like that, because the pageants led to acting and then acting led to singing. And so we both kind of started at the same time, but one of us would be like more successful, like she'd be booking more shows than I would, and then I would be booking more with acting, and then just vice versa. So my poor mother was pregnant with Madison when Demi was on the Barney show. I was doing my thing. I think at one point I counted when I was like in middle school, I was doing 12 extracurricular activities a week. That was like singing, dance, modeling, pageants, choreography, songwriting, guitar, piano, tap ballet. Like it was crazy. And that was our world. And I mean, my poor sister Madison, like, grew up in our expedition watching DVDs over and over again. My mom would like put down the bed of the truck and like make like a little slide and have like her little playground while we'd be bopping around from one audition to the other. And so after Demi started becoming successful with Disney, well, she did As the Bell Rings first and Camp Rock, I started seeing that I didn't know if I wanted to be famous. It's very easy to look at fame from the outside perspective and look at it as the glitz and the glamour and the money. And yeah, okay, those things are great, but you have zero privacy. Every single thing that you think, do, say, wear, go, talk to, associate with, every single thing gets put under a microscope. And I don't know if that would have been something that I would have been able to handle with my personality. I'm the most extroverted introvert that you will ever meet. Like, I can have fun anywhere. I always bring the party. I was voted most social in school 2 years in a row, but I was also the girl who would sit in the bathrooms by myself and cry, like the scene from Mean Girls, you know, poor Katie Heron. That was me in the bathroom eating my lunch by myself because I had massive, massive, massive social anxiety, which I still deal with. So when I saw Demi kind of becoming successful, realizing, ooh, I don't know like if I want this life, but this is all I know, not going to college. So what do I do? And my mom was like, everybody had told me, they were like, you would make an amazing acting coach, because the only people that I had ever coached booked like their jumpstart roles. Like Selena, I worked with her on Stevie Sanchez, which was a pilot that she did hand in hand with my old acting coach, Catherine Sullivan, who's fantastic.
You were instrumental as well in helping Demi land her role on As the Bell Rings as well, right?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, we worked together. Like Selena and Demi and I were all like homeschooled together. And so anytime that we would get auditions, like I would be the one coaching them, running lines with them and stuff like that. And then so like Madison, my little sister, booked Desperate Housewives from a tape that I did with her, coached her on that. And then my acting coach's son, she overbooked one day and was like, can you work with my son? And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do this, but okay. And then he booked that. And so my track record with like working with people was like really good. And I was like, well, listen, this is all I know. I don't want to be in the spotlight, but I love what I do and I don't want to quit. So this was just a perfect blend for me. And I love it. I literally get to sing every day. I get to act every day. I get to help other people. And that means more to me than anything that I could ever do myself on camera. Like the gratification that you get when a client has a breakthrough, or like they've implemented some of my acting techniques into like their schoolwork and they got a good grade or they got into college, you know, some of the interview things that I teach, stuff like that. Like that gives me so much more joy than anything that I've ever booked myself in my life, you know? So I love it. I get to do what I love every single day. And that makes me happy.
You did star in a few films. Some of the roles that you were best known for were No Vacancy, Cage No More. What was it like working on each film?
I had a blast filming. I always get really, really nervous before I go to do anything, like especially singing, but acting, I always get so, I don't know. I just get like anxiety and like, then I don't act like myself and I get all weird. Like I'm on a first date or something. I don't know. It's exciting nerves, but nerves still. And so I remember shooting No Vacancy. That was the first one out of those, I think, that I did. And that was amazing because Chris Stokes is, he was like the creator, director, writer, basically just did everything. And I knew him because he managed a couple of singers and rappers that I knew back in the day, you know, old LA scene, you know.
B2K, by the way, he was responsible for B2K.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was friends with all of them, and I knew Chris from way back in the day. And then we got in touch somehow, and he hit me up and he was like, yo, I had this dream and I'm turning it into a movie. Do you want to be in it? And I was like, yeah. So when I read the script, he was really pushing for me to be the lead girl, but I really did not want to be the lead girl because there was a group of sociopaths that walked around and murdered people. And I studied sociopaths, psychopaths, and like the differences of how to portray them. I studied those extensively in acting. So I already knew how to play the difference between a psychopath and a sociopath and all of that. Plus, I didn't have to run around all day crying. Like, the poor girl who played the lead, she is phenomenal. But this girl, I was like, sorry. I get to be crazy and hot and pop in and pop out. You know, that was really fun. Like, it is exhausting. Acting, modeling, all these people that say modeling isn't a job and this and that. Oh no, it is hard work. You put your body and it's like the mental capacity to be behind that too, to like push through long days of set. Like, it's a lot of hurry up and wait. And that can even be exhausting before you even get on set, you know?
You mentioned earlier how when it comes to like paranormal, there could be attachments. Like you go into a place and then you pull it out. What people don't understand about also acting, what you were creating doesn't always get left there. Like you bring it back with you and you're like, damn, like where am I mentally, you know? So like understanding how to get out of that is really important. So people need to understand that it's not just this thing, like, oh, I can do it. Like it's not that easy, guys. And it's, you know, that's why not many people do it.
I love pushing myself to like my limits like that. You know, I love seeing how many more takes can I do? How many more hours can I be on set? Like how many more people can I say goodbye to, and the crew and everybody, like just like communicating and talking and like not just disappearing when, you know, when they call cut. Like I was really enjoying just being there and teaching myself like, okay, like maybe you can do this, you know, or like I have missed it. You know, I did miss being on set.
You were featured on Dance Moms. Let's jump into Dance Moms. How was it like being a part of Dance Moms?
Okay, so Dance Moms was so crazy because I had watched that show religiously for years. Literally, I watched that show like from day one. And I would watch the shows and I would always think like, you know, Maddie was a very good theatrical performer with her dancing. And so I just remember watching and just being like, I wish that like, I would love to work with these girls because I feel like they're so technically just flawless, but I feel like there's some emotion that could come out a little more. Or I would watch and be like, oh, I see that they're doing this. And like, I wish that I could work with them so I could tell them, you know, hey, this is kind of how things are done in LA, you know, because it's different markets too. You know, the dance world is a totally different world in Pittsburgh than it is in Los Angeles or even New York. You know, there's major differences in all these cities. So I was like, gosh, I wish if they ever came to LA, like I would die to work with them. So my little sister, Madison, she did an interview with Abby Lee Miller. So Madison got to meet Abby. My mom got to meet Abby, and they like exchanged, you know, information and this and that and emails and everything. So I was just watching Dance Moms one day and I saw a preview that they were going to be in Hollywood. And I was like, yo, that's my chance. So I emailed Abby Lee Miller and I was like, yo, please let me work with your girls. Like, I am just dying to get a hold of them because like, there's so many things that I'm like, I want to work with them so bad. And so Abby was so nice. She was like, can you actually film like 2 days from now, like tomorrow or whatever? And I was like, sure. So I had to like come up with like all of these. I had to like get all my scripts together for like possibilities. I had to come up with like all these different like improv games and things like that because I didn't know what they were going to want to use. So I wanted to show up as a teacher having like, you know, do we want to do script study? Do we want to do like how to audition properly, or, you know, all the things that I do, they're kind of like seminars. So wasn't really sure. So I had to get all of that stuff together, and I went and I worked with them. And let me tell you, Every single one of those girls and their mothers are some of the nicest people and most humble people that I still know of today. Like JoJo, I think I was closest with JoJo because she was pursuing acting like around the time that I started like working with the girls. So some of them were doing acting, some of them were doing different things and stuff like that. But I don't know why, I bonded really close with JoJo and her mom. And I actually went to like do a couple of like improv classes like at her house. And when I say that they are some of the nicest people you will ever meet in your life, I totally mean that. Like, you would never in a million years know that this girl was like a billionaire, like on top of the world just by meeting her. So down to earth, so humble, so nice. Like, I wish them all the success in the world. Like I worked with a lot of them, like not just on camera, but off camera too. Like I think Nia came to a couple of my classes at my house. Kalani, I know I worked with her a lot over like Skype and FaceTime and stuff like that. And then Nia, and JoJo mostly. I think those were the girls I worked with the most just because of what they had going on. But yeah, like those girls are so sweet, so sweet. I absolutely love them. I wish big things for those kids. They're like adults now, but you know.
So Dallas, going back to your coaching, for anybody interested in acting and wanting to learn how to act, and maybe perhaps they want some tips, just in need of your services, how can they contact you? Where can they go?
Yeah. So I have an email, DallasLovatoCoaching at gmail.com, DallasLovatoCoaching at gmail.com. Yeah. If you're interested in lessons in like anything in the entertainment industry, because I don't just coach like where you get a script and it's like monkey see, monkey do. Like, no, I'm teaching you like the questions to ask your agent, like how to navigate the entertainment industry as a whole. Like that's something that I love doing. It's not just like the acting coaching, but like also the entertainment industry, you know, and kind of navigating that kind of stuff. I also do like vocal lessons. I call it artist development, where like I'll work with anybody that wants to get into like music or, you know, be like a singer. And I kind of coach them on like vocals, but also, you know, like stage presence and things like that. So it's kind of, when I work with my clients, it's kind of like not just like a curriculum. It's kind of like I take everybody through all of the same stuff, but like at different times based on them and how they learn and stuff like that. So it's fun for me because each new person that I work with is a new experience for me. It's like a new journey of me being a teacher and modifying the way that I teach based on their needs, you know, because I'm here to serve, you know? So yeah, but if you're interested, if anybody is interested, you can email DallasLovatoCoaching at gmail.com and just talk like a little, maybe just say what you're interested in. And then my assistant or I will email back with like enrollment steps and things like that. So
I want to talk about your family a little bit, because I can see that, you know, you're very close to your family. Both your sisters, Demi, Madison, even your mom. What's your relationship like with each and every one of them?
Honestly, we are such a close family and really supportive. Like that's one thing that I can say that I thank God for every single day about my family is the fact that we are some of the toughest people. I mean, that I know, everything that we've gone through, everything that we've experienced, it's a lot for any one person to handle, but then you have like a family that's kind of all like involved together. And it just kind of, it adds a little bit to the stress and like the weight of it a little bit. But it also is something that we bond over and we connect over, is like we have these shared experiences that, like, you know, it's hard when you're going through something and the whole world knows, you know, so many people when they have embarrassing things happen or hard things happen or trials and tribulations, like they don't have the whole world watching to see how you handle that or, you know, what you do with that. But nobody really gets you like your family. I thank God every day for giving me and my sisters the mom that we have, because the strength that she has to be able to take a step back and say, you know what, these are my kids and I love you and I support you. And this is what you need to do in order to find yourself, has been absolutely incredible. But don't get me wrong, she cracks the whip when she needs to. I do have a Southern mom now.
I hear you. I hear that. So Dallas, for anybody that's actually watching or listening to the show right now, anybody that's constantly hustling, constantly grinding, for anybody pursuing their dreams right now, if you were to offer any advice to any of these people listening or watching the show right now, what would you say to them?
Well, Nike said it best, just do it. That has been my first motto that I ever heard, and I fell in love with it. Just do it. Life is way, 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 way too short. And, you know, I mean, it's hard coming from someone who like has my own fears about it, you know, but literally life is so short, and tomorrow is not guaranteed. Tonight's not even guaranteed. So if there's anything that you want to do that you are passionate about that, you know, isn't harming anybody else, I say go for it, full force, head on. Do not waste a single second. Like, become obsessed with your dream. Become so passionate about it that that is literally all you do all day long. And I guarantee you will have some kind of success if you work diligently every day. Do something every day that is towards your dream. Just do it.
Well said. Now, Dallas, for anybody that's actually just interested in knowing more about you, learning more about you, where can they find you online?
Okay, so I have Twitter, and my Twitter is Dallas Lovato, and then my Instagram is the one and only Dallas Lovato, and then my TikTok is the Dallas Lovato. So those are all three places where you can find me doing my random Dallas stuff that I do, staying on my grizzly. You can also, if you're interested in coaching, you can email dallaslovatocoaching@gmail.com. And if you're interested in my rhinestone stuff, because I make custom orders, I do custom products and all kinds of things, you can email dallaslovatostore@gmail.com.
Awesome. On top of that, anything else you're currently working on outside of like acting, coaching, and all that? Anything going on in your life right now?
Yeah. So I have Unidentified with Demi Lovato coming out on September 30th, streaming on Peacock. So that's pretty cool. There is another project that will be kind of exciting if that takes off. But yeah, as of right now, like, I'm just working on my mental health, really kind of getting a good grip on that. And yeah, that's what I'm up to right now.
I wanted to thank you so much for being here and just sharing things that, you know, otherwise would make other people like really feel like, you know, maybe uncomfortable, and just in general, just thank you for being vulnerable and being yourself and showing people that, you know, it's not all kittens and lollipops all the time, and you're so relatable, and someone at home for sure is going to benefit from listening to you.
The show on Peacock, September 30th, Unidentified with Demi Lovato. My girl Dallas is in it. She stays on her grizzly. Make sure you guys stay up to date, because she's got more stuff coming headed your way. So please follow her on social media. On top of that, Dallas, we want to thank you so much for being a part of the show.
Thank you.
And with that being said, stay on your grizzly, girl.
Thank you so much.
Get it pop. Let's get it.
Yo, that's what I'm talking about.
Hi, and welcome to Trademark Expediters. Whether you need a trademark or copyright, we can help make the process easy and affordable. Protect your company name, logo, or slogan with the trademark. Protect your songs, books, photographs, and other creative works with a copyright. Complete our easy online questionnaire in 15 minutes or less. Clear pricing, no hidden fees. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Get started today. Learn more at trademarkexpediters.com or call one of our friendly specialists at 1-800-510-1082. Affordable, easy, expedited service. Trademark Expediters.
Yo, turn it up.
Hard work, dedication, and progress. Stay on your grizzly.
Yeah.
Thanks for checking out another Grizzly Podcast episode. We'll see you next time.